For 5 years, Stella Harper had been Damien Frost's secretary. She'd also been his lover. He found her everywhere, pulled her close everywhere, took what he wanted everywhere. Stella had only come in to drop off a file folder. Before she could blink, his hand was on her waist.
Good girl.
She cursed herself for listening to him, for letting this spiral so far out of control.
Damien, slower.
5 years, Stella. Still not used to it?
She couldn't answer. No one would ever believe it. Damien Frost, the ice-cold CEO of Frost Industries, the man whose name made competitors flinch, was an absolute animal in bed.
Tell me the truth. Have you been drugging me? Because I can't fucking get enough of you.
Stella's legs were jelly. She had to lean against his desk just to stay upright while she fumbled with the buttons of her blouse, straightened his tie with practiced efficiency. The glacial CEO was back, already pivoting to work mode. Stella bit her lip.
Damien, I'm almost 30. My parents keep asking, do you ever think about our future?
Miss Harper, work hours are not for personal matters.
But then he leaned in, one hand gripping her jaw. He brushed a kiss across her lips.
Stella, those things shouldn't come from the woman first.
She smoothed down her skirt, quickly organized the papers on his desk, and turned to leave. That was when she ran into Marcus Webb, Damien's closest friend.
Thank you, Miss Harper.
She showed him into the office. Then she heard Marcus's voice through the gap.
Damn, Damien. You've really got your little secretary trained, don't you? Seriously, man. How many positions have you two tried over the years?
Stella froze. How did he know that?
You've got the wildest setup I've ever seen.
She felt exposed. The conversation inside continued.
So I gotta ask, Vicky Sinclair's coming back soon, right? You flew out 99 times to beg her to come home. She finally said yes. You're about to have everything you wanted. So why still tangled up with the secretary? Can't quite quit her? Pre-wedding entertainment? Women like her are inconvenient. They know how to please, they don't make demands, and the sex is incredible.
Vicky's always been delicate. I wouldn't want to be rough with her after the wedding.
Might as well get it all out of my system now. Good. I thought maybe our boy Damien had caught feelings.
Stella didn't wait to hear Damien's reply. She pulled the door shut, her face drained of color, and made her way back to her desk on autopilot. A mountain of work was waiting for her. She couldn't focus on a single word. Damien Frost was one of Seattle's most celebrated young entrepreneurs. He'd given a guest lecture at her university years ago, and Stella had sat in the audience for 2 hours, utterly captivated. She'd joined Frost Industries through campus recruiting right after graduation. Within a year, she'd been promoted to his personal secretary. The man wasn't just handsome, he was razor-sharp, decisive, brilliant. Working beside him day after day, how could she not have fallen for him? She knew the gap between them was enormous. She buried her feelings so deep she thought they'd never surface. Then one night, a client spiked her drink. She'd locked herself in a hotel room, burning up, barely holding on, and suddenly he was there. The morning after, she panicked. She started drafting her resignation letter, but before she could send it, he wrapped his arms around her from behind, pressed a searing kiss to her bare shoulder.
Stella Harler, be mine.
And so it began. 5 years. It wasn't some sweeping public romance, but he never hit her either. He showed his preference for her openly, and she poured every ounce of herself into keeping pace with him professionally, terrified of ever becoming a burden. She thought marriage was just a matter of time. She'd been waiting for him to bring it up. Then her parents started pressuring her, and she finally gathered the nerve to ask. But he'd never planned to marry her at all. A woman, a girlfriend, one word's difference, an entire universe between them. All those years she'd been quietly building a future in her head. And he'd been flying overseas to beg another woman to marry him. 99 times, and now, finally, she'd said yes. Her phone vibrated on the desk, shattering her spiraling thoughts. Her mother's voice warm with expectation.
Sweetheart, have you talked to your boyfriend yet? When are you bringing him home?
She took a breath.
Mom, I'm sorry. I lied to you and Dad. I don't have a boyfriend. You said I could either bring someone home or let you introduce me to someone. I've decided. I'm moving back. Set me up with whoever you think is decent.
She was done. She'd go back to the life she was supposed to live. They'd never see each other again.
You're really inclined to coming back? You'll quit that job in the city and you'll actually meet someone? What kind of man are you looking for?
You choose. I trust you. It'll take me about a month to wrap things up here. Once everything's settled, I'll be on the first flight home.
Stella exchanged a few more words, then hung up. She stared at her computer screen for a long moment. Then, with trembling fingers, she opened a blank document and typed 4 words, letter of resignation. She submitted it within the hour. The HR manager rejected it in under 60 seconds. A private message popped up. Stella, you're Mr. Frost's people. I can't process your resignation without his approval. Please don't put me in this position. Stella glanced toward Damien's office. She gathered the documents that needed his signature and tucked her resignation letter into the stack. She found him buried in work, his expression cold and focused. Even after 5 years together, he treated every contract with meticulous care. He read every page before signing. As he flipped toward her resignation letter, Stella's heart climbed into her throat. She was still scrambling for how to explain when his phone rang. She saw the name flash on the screen. Victoria Sinclair. Something sharp twisted in her chest. Damien's entire face lit up. He snatched the phone. Whatever was said on the other end made him, Damien Frost, who never lost his composure, actually rise from his chair, excitement breaking through his usual mask.
You're back already? I'm on my way. Of course it's a surprise.
He was already moving toward the door. Stella's lips parted.
Mr. Frost, there's one more.
But Damien was too eager to see the woman he loved. He didn't even glance at the last document. He scrawled his signature, tossed the pen back at her, and strode out. The breeze of his passing brushed her cheek. His familiar scent hit her, and her chest constricted with a dull, spreading ache. She watched his back. Just before he reached the door, the words slipped out before she could stop herself.
Damien, what are we?
He paused, glanced back. His brow creased with impatience, as if the question didn't even deserve an answer. He pulled the door open and was gone. A bitter smile tugged at Stella's lips. She looked down at the document in her hands. Damien Frost's signature, bold and sharp, was scrawled across the bottom of her resignation letter. Whatever they had been, she was certain of one thing now. He wanted it to be nothing. She'd always known how to take a hint. His beloved was back. The plaything he'd used to pass the time? Time for a quiet, dignified exit. With Damien's signature in hand, she resubmitted her resignation. This time, it went through. The sky had been clear all day. By the time Stella left the office, it was pouring. Her apartment was a 10-minute walk from the building. She hadn't brought an umbrella. She just stepped into the rain and let it soak through her clothes. By the time she got home, she was drenched. The moment she opened the door, a draft swept through the apartment, and she stood there shivering.